Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aldina, and I am the creator of Divinely Healing. So, today I kind of want to talk about pain and loneliness because I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about how lonely it can be while you're on a healing journey and while you're changing and kind of shedding the old person that you were and becoming this new person. There are a lot of people in our lives that are used to this older version of us, and they kind of don't accept this newer version of you, and they don't see this new version of you. No matter what you do, no matter how much you change, they're kind of always there to remind you of who you were before. And it gets very lonely because it really does feel like you have nobody there to kind of help you to accept this new you and to kind of like embrace that new you and embrace the person that you're becoming. And when you start your healing journey, it's important to look at every aspect of your life because in order for you to change, everything in your life has to change. The people that you surround yourself with, the things that you're watching and reading, the things that you're eating, the music that you're listening to, everything needs to change in order for you to completely change your life and to heal, because you have to understand that the things that were for you before are no longer for you now. So when you do start your healing journey, you have to take a look at everything. And a lot of the times, the people in your life are going to start fading away, or they're going to start dropping like flies, and you'll notice, right? Or it'll be very difficult for you to be around them anymore because, like I just said previously, they have that concept of who you used to be in their head, and they're not going to accept the new person that you are and the new person that you're becoming. And so they're always going to treat you like you're that previous person. And so it's difficult, but it just becomes inevitable, and then they're not in your life anymore. So it can be very lonely to heal because you start seeing things for what they really are. It's hard to be around other people when you don't really feel like you belong there. It's hard to be around people who only knew the old you and are constantly forcing that old you down your throat. They're pushing it in your face and always reminding you of what you used to be, even though you're not that anymore. Nobody really talks about how painful a healing journey really is, because it's not all butterflies and rainbows and sunshine, but honestly, most of the time it's sad and kind of depressing. And you have like this grieving period for a while because you're grieving the old you and how you shed that old you and how that old you pretty much died. It no longer exists. And so you're grieving that, and you're grieving the relationships that you used to have. And you're grieving the experiences that you used to have. And I feel like a lot of people don't mention that and how difficult it can really be. And how when you get on this healing journey and you're really starting to get into it, it feels like there's a voice inside your head telling you to go back to that, to go back to what is comfortable. Of course, that voice is your ego, but it's like you want to go back, you know? You don't want to keep going forward because it's scary and maybe it's really painful and honestly sometimes very boring, but I've been accepting the boredom a lot lately because it's what I asked for. I asked for the peace. I asked to not be stressed. I asked to be calm. And I asked for those things, and the universe gave me that. Deep down, I know, I understand that, again, there's a plan for everything. It doesn't matter what my plan is, but there's a plan for everything. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. And I wanted to talk about pain today because, especially now, and at least especially where I live, growing up, we all just covered up our feelings with different vices, and we never really went through the pain. We never really dealt with it. We never really just felt it all and let it pour out of us and then moved on. We just covered it up with a billion band-aids, hoping that we wouldn't have to deal with it, and then it would eventually come up later and it would be worse, right? And we just keep doing that, covering it up with band-aids and different vices and things that just block it out. But our feelings are meant to be felt, and there's a reason that we're feeling those things, and there's a huge lesson in the things that we are feeling. And I don't like that whole, you always have to be happy and being on the highest frequency constantly and all this stuff. I don't agree with that at all, because as humans, we have the gift of being able to feel things very deeply and being able to release that. And I think the issue is that a lot of people don't want to feel their feelings because they're ashamed of it, or because they feel guilty for feeling a certain way. As I talked about in the last video, we have the ability to hit rock bottom and then pull ourselves out of it and transmute that pain and alchemize it and change it into something better. And you cannot push those feelings away, right? So if you're feeling guilty and ashamed, then you need to figure out why you're feeling that way. You need to figure out what it is in your life that is making you feel that way, even if it's something that happened in the past. And then you have to learn how to release that. But you can't block those feelings and just say you're happy. Like, again, just putting a happiness band-aid on feeling that way. It doesn't work that way. You literally have to feel those feelings, understand them, and why you're feeling that way. Get to the root problem and the root cause of these feelings. And then you have to transmute it into something lighter so that you can be happy. And don't get me wrong, you choose how you feel every single day, right? You can choose to feel happy every single day. That is true. But the subconscious plays the biggest role in your life. And you can say that you're happy all you want. But if it's not true, and you have so many blockages and so much negative, toxic energy stuck in your body, then it doesn't matter if you choose to be happy, because that's going to be there. It's going to be residing down deep in there. And you're still going to be vibrating at a low frequency. So I don't really believe in the whole fake it till you make it. I've never really believed in that concept because I can't just pretend to be a certain way, because my subconscious plays a huge role in everything, right? Any traumas that you have, any blockages that you have, any stuck energy that you have that's residing in your subconscious is going to control your life, because there is a lot of pain that needs to be felt and worked through. And I'm tired of running away from it. I don't want to run away from it. And for that reason, I got rid of the vices in my life that I had before, and I stopped trying to cover it up. And I stopped trying to run away from it, because I got rid of all of those things that were covering up the way that I was feeling, that were covering up my pain. And I just decided to stop one day, because I decided that I couldn't run from those things anymore, because I was so unhappy. So what are you running away from? What feelings are you holding so deep within you? What are you afraid of? Do these feelings make you feel comfortable? Are you comfortable feeling angry and sad and depressed? Because I was. And a lot of people don't even realize, when we're feeling a certain way constantly, we get addicted to it. Our brain gets addicted to it. And so when you start to choose to feel a different way and you start working through that, it's like you want to go back to feeling that way. When I was constantly angry and sad and ashamed, when I was finally starting to get out of it, it's like I found myself like going back and looking at things that made me sad, that like reminded me of the bad things that happened. And it was because I was addicted to that feeling, because it was like I was in this weird territory of feeling better and feeling at peace. And I didn't have this anger and I didn't have this crazy anxiety. And I wasn't panicking on the inside. And so it was like I was looking for it again. It was like I was putting myself in situations that I knew would make me feel those feelings again. Because we get addicted to it. When we're constantly in that state, we get addicted to it, whether you realize it or not. So, yes, healing is painful. Healing can be very lonely. But it is so worth it once you get past a certain point, once you get past like this wall of uncertainty. And then you realize that you're safe, and it becomes just a little bit easier. So I'm here to remind you that healing is worth it. And that even when you're a year into your healing journey, something can come up that will take you back to the past, that will take you back to maybe that thing that you thought you worked through. And that's okay, because healing is not linear. Some days will be just so easy and light and really butterflies and rainbows and sparkles. And honestly, some days will be like a storm just came in and took everything that you've built and just destroy it. And I know that sounds terrible, but that's how healing works. But as long as you keep going and you keep feeling and pushing through and just getting through the feelings and working through them and understanding yourself, it's so worth it. These boring days are so necessary because these boring days where nothing eventful happens and it's so mundane, these are the chances that you have to rebuild yourself, to find new hobbies and new passions, and take the time to really understand yourself and really grow. So don't let anybody make you feel guilty for being on this journey. Don't forget that a lot of people have a hard time accepting that the old you has died, and that they will have a lot of projections of themselves on you. They will put those projections on you because they see you growing. Even though they can't accept it, they see it happening. They see you changing right before their eyes. And it hurts. It hurts to see that. Because unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck in this loop. And they may say that they want to heal and be better, but they're not taking the initiative like you did. They're not actively putting in the work every single day like you are. And so it can become very lonely. But you are never alone, because there's a whole universe behind you, just has your back all the time. So remember how strong and resilient you are. And remember that you're absolutely capable of getting through anything that life throws at you. It wouldn't be thrown at you in the first place if you couldn't get through it. So take a deep breath, give yourself a hug, and get through it. Because I just know what's waiting on the other side is everything that you've ever wanted. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.